Hi, you guys. Welcome back. And of course, if you are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Tracey Erickson, and in this video, I'm going to tell you guys all about the Zodiac elements: earth, air, fire, and water. So stay tuned. I'm sure that most of you are aware what the zodiac signs are, but just in case you're not quite sure what the zodiac is, let me explain it to you real quick. The zodiac is a series of 12 constellations in the sky, and it is believed that depending on which constellation you can see from your earthly perspective at the time that you were born could determine some certain things about your personality traits and things like that. Now, the zodiac and astrology is really not meant to be your king, so to speak. So what it is meant to be is kind of a guide into your less obvious to see aspects of yourself. So aspects of your personality, as well as certain archetypes that you live under based on your zodiac sign. Now, when I refer to the elements based on the zodiac, what I mean is that each of the zodiac signs, so each of the 12 signs of the zodiac, are assigned a specific element: an earth, air, fire, or water element. And so in this video, I want to explain those elements when it comes to astrology and your zodiac. I also want to quickly point out that while you have some more prominent signs in your birth chart, you have multiple different things that your actual birth chart tells you. And so there's more to your zodiac chart than simply your sun sign. For instance, you can have a moon sign that's totally different than your sun sign, and you can have a rising that is different than your sun or moon sign, etc., etc. There are many things that go into a full astrological birth chart, and if you're interested in checking out what signs that you were born under, then I'll be sure to put a link in my description box for you down below so that you can go to cafeastrology.com and get your own free birth chart from them. I'm just showing you where I get my own birth chart information. Now, when it comes to the elements, each of the zodiac sign is assigned a specific element, like I said earlier. So while you may have a more dominant, air sign, you might also have different fire and earth and water elements within your birth chart as well. Therefore, each of these 4 elements, just like in nature, are kind of working with each other, just like in nature, to create the very unique individual that you are. While it's obvious that a strong balance of all 4 elements in your birth chart would be very beneficial to you, it is unfortunately not so for everyone. So there are some people who have a very strong influence on certain elements in their chart, which also might lead them a little deficient in some of the other elements in their charts. Generally speaking, we all have the elements in our charts, but it just depends on Basically, how many of each element that you have could determine how strong that element is seen in your personality and how you perceive reality. So astrology, like I said, is really just about your own unique individual personality, and it kind of reflects in how you perceive the world around you. So let's get going on kind of diving into each of the 4 elements as it pertains to the zodiac signs. So let's start with fire. The fire signs of the zodiac are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. These signs are the fire signs of the zodiac, and these signs specifically, because of the element they are assigned to being fire, are very passionate individuals. These passionate individuals are also ones who love to initiate action. So they're very good at starting on new projects and kind of like hyping other people up into their ideas and getting them going. Now, the issue that they might have as a fire sign may be to complete the project. That's not to say that a fire sign cannot complete a project, but fire signs are so excited to get to the next project that sometimes they forget that they're actually working on a project, and therefore the current project is put on the wayside as they begin something new once again. Now, fire signs do have to be careful because, as you know, fire can be destructive at times. While fire is definitely necessary to sustain life, fire can also end it as well. So you must be careful to kind of tone it down a little bit if you feel as though you're being a little imbalanced on your fiery traits. And some more traits of the fire sign is that they are creative. Tons of creativity, tons of life force energy, optimism. So fire signs can be very optimistic, again, because they are so passionate about what they are doing. Therefore, it creates a lot of optimism in their outlook. Fire signs can also be very intelligent, as well as carry a lot of insight. Now, fire signs also can be hot. So that means hot-tempered and can sometimes just have issues when it comes to, maybe anger and reeling that in a little bit. Fire is living from the spirit. Fire is that initial creation of the universe, that life force made manifest. So if you have balanced fire, then that would mean that you are of the optimistic, the intuitive, the spontaneous fire, which is inspirational and very affectionate. Now, if your fire is imbalanced, too much fire could be excessive heat, meaning a lot of anger and violence, as well as too much fire could kind of lead to over-enthusiasm and way too many projects that you've started, but again, have not completed. So if you have an imbalanced fire, then you may be feeling a little overwhelmed. Maybe you feel like you've lost some of your creativity, some of that spark, and it can also create kind of a coldness in your personality because you're missing out on that optimism that you naturally want to be a part of. So now let's move on to the element of earth. The astrological earth signs include Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Now, the earth element is very much concerned with security and creating a firm foundation to create that stable lifestyle and future on. The earth element is very much associated with the 5 physical senses, as well as just creating in the physical world. The earth element is the most practical of all of the elements and is very, very stable. And while the earth element does like to interact with others, the earth element doesn't necessarily need others. They don't feel as though they need others in order to function and to live a happy and secure life. So those earth signs out there are very stable, and they are very much in tune with routine and daily tasks. And the earth sign is also a very hard worker. All right, so we have the balanced earth sign, which is very patient and tolerant, steadfast and strong, and a very sound value system, basically based on security and strength. So as an earth sign is functioning at its most optimum levels, then they are usually able to carry out any task that they begin efficiently, so in a very timely manner, and it's done right. Now, if you are an earth element, but yet it is out of balance, so an imbalanced earth is inflexible, someone who's very stubborn, and think of it like that really stubborn bull. So the earth signs who are imbalanced tend to oversleep, but it's because it's almost like they don't have the energy to continue doing those normal day-to-day tasks that a very balanced earth sign is good at and does with significant ease. So an imbalanced earth results in someone who's kind of toxic on every level, someone who doesn't want to get up and do the work that is required of them, and someone who is also emotionally imbalanced if the earth element is out of balance. So when we have the balanced earth sign, this is a very practical, strong, and hard-working sign. And this sign is a master at the 5 senses and loves sensuality. So now let's move on to our next element, the element of water. And now we have the water element, and the astrological signs that are associated with water include Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So if you are a water sign, then the water element is really going to bring out strong emotions within this individual. So those strong emotions, though, just make you sensitive, empathetic, and it makes it so that you almost move with this ebb and flow similar to the ocean's tides. Now, with the element of water, you are also someone who is possibly like a poet or an artist, because you're able to tap into that inner life that most people are not as deeply involved with as the water signs. So if you are a water sign who is balanced water, you are calm, soft, gentle, and empathetic. So a balanced water sign has a very steady disposition and is in harmony with the emotions that are constantly flowing through this one. Now, an imbalanced water sign could obviously lead to kind of excessive emotions, where someone is overly sensitive and apprehensive even. These people can be untrustworthy. They don't trust other people with their emotions. And someone with a deficient water signs in their chart could lack the rhythm that is necessary to really be able to flow properly through life. So the balanced water sign, or the balanced element of water, includes a connection to the emotions, to the shadow self, to that side of us that is like the moon, the side of us that is the inner life. So balanced water is very connected to and sensitive to the emotions, but also to intuition, as well as just having a level of knowing based on how you feel internally. And water signs also have a connection with their clairsenses. So where the earth signs have a strong connection to the earthly senses, the 5 senses, the water signs could have a deeper connection with the clairsenses. So clairaudience, clairvoyance, and so on, clairsentience, because they have that connection to the inner emotions and the inner environment. So now let's move on to the last of the 4 elements, the element of air. And finally, we have the element of air. And the astrological signs that are associated with air include Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So if you are an air sign, then that means that you're very connected with your intellect and the mind. And so you might have a lot of ideas, and you might love to read and gather information, and basically to have a very active intellect. The air signs are very innovative as well, because they have so many great ideas just running through their mind all the time. Air signs are also seeing all of these different ideas flying around in their minds, and so therefore they can sometimes get lost in all of the thinking and things like that, and kind of get lost daydreaming about the next idea that they have or the next creative thing. But for the most part, most air signs are very balanced and can be more innovative with their thinking, as long as they can have control and kind of reel in their attention on a particular idea that they have. So balanced air is graceful and objective, and the balanced air element is also very fair-minded. So someone who could see both sides of the coin. So someone who can weigh the pros and cons. Now, the air signs are usually very communicative as well. So a balanced air should be able to communicate with a wide variety of different types of people on many different subjects as well. Now, an imbalanced air sign can be someone who's very scattered and can't seem to focus their attention on any one thing at any particular time. Now, a lot of times an imbalance in air could lead to something such as dyslexia, or like someone who would be able to read but maybe not comprehend what it is that they read, for instance, just for example. So the imbalanced air can lead to kind of that ADD, attention deficit disorder type of mentality almost, where you're not ever able to really focus on any one topic for too long of a period of time. So the balanced air knows how to use their intellect and keep their intellect sharp by communicating with others, as well as collecting new information and data. But the balanced air also knows how to focus on those topics when it's necessary. So, do you know which element is most prominent in your birth chart? If you don't, be sure to check my description box below and visit the website Cafe Astrology to get your free natal chart to learn a little bit more about yourself. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. So if you like this video, be sure to click that like button. And of course, share this video out with all of your friends. And if you're a viewer but not yet a subscriber, I would love for you to click subscribe right under this video. And once you've subscribed, you can then click the bell to be notified each and every time that I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching and spending your time with me. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.